to case scenario segment of your digest. सबसे पहले तो केस स्टडी और केस सिनारियो में डिफरेंस क्या है? देखो, केस स्टडी में एक हाइपोथेटिकल इंफॉर्मेशन हो सकती है, बट सिनारियो में देयर इज अ डिटेल्ड रिपोर्टिंग. सिनारियो में देयर इज अ डिटेल्ड रिपोर्टिंग एंड एक सिनारियो क्रिएट किया जाता है वेल इन एडवांस कि ओके ऐसा ऐसा हुआ तो व्हाट विल बी द स्ट्रेटजी, ऐसा हुआ तो व्हाट विल बी द स्ट्रेटजी. आपको पहले से प्लान करना होता है कि ओके इफ आई एम गोइंग टू फेस दिस प्रॉब्लम व्हाट विल बी द सिचुएशन. जैसे हम लोग करते रहते हैं, ठीक है 3 महीने पढ़ने के लिए है, लेकिन अगर मैं 8 दिन बीमार पड़ जाऊं तो क्या बैकअप प्लान है मेरे पास? ओके अगर मेरा पढ़ाई जल्दी खत्म होता है तो फिर कौन सा सब्जेक्ट लेना चाहिए? इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आपकी पढ़ाई खत्म हुई है या आप बीमार पड़े हो, बट यू प्लान फॉर इट. सिनारियो इज अ सिनारियो क्रिएटेड on the basis of some information, some detailed information, and you think about the probable or possible or expected future events, and this can be used. तो सबसे पहले तो ये निकलेगा कि भाई ऐसा तू क्यों ख्यालों में सोच रहा है? Why are you thinking? केस स्टडीज मतलब क्या? ये हुआ है, ढूंढो. केस सिनारियो मतलब ऐसा हुआ है, ऐसा हो सकता है, ये सिचुएशन आ सकती है. तो ये क्यों सोचने का? इट इज मेनली बिकॉज यू कैन ट्रेन योर स्टाफ टू फेस दोज प्रॉब्लम्स वेल इन एडवांस. You can train your staff to go through those problems when they occur. They will be prepared for the worst because they have already made the provision, they have already made themselves ready to face that situation. So case studies is based on actual information और आप actual एक सोल्यूशन सजेस्ट करते हो कि मतलब या तो कंपनी की बैंड बच चुकी है या फिर कंपनी कहीं डाइवर्ट होना चाहती है, एंड यू सजेस्ट देम. यहाँ पे आप ये सोच रहे हो कि ऐसा सिचुएशन आया तो क्या, मतलब इसको आप यूज करके अपने स्टाफ को, अपने मैनेजमेंट को, अपने एम्प्लॉइज को ट्रेन कर सकते हो. हमारे लिए एज अ स्टूडेंट कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा, जैसा केस स्टडीज में किया वैसे ही केस सिनारियो में करना है. तो आइए चलते हैं दोस्तों सबसे पहली केस स्टडी की, केस सिनारियो की तरफ, और ये आपके लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसे लाइटली मत लीजिए. This case study, this case scenario which I am doing right now is very important. Please do not take it lightly. Case scenario: Surmount Cable Cars (SCC) engaged in assembly of cabin used on ropeways. In order to assemble cabin, 3 major parts of different shapes and sizes are used. These parts are assembled with the help of specially designed dome nut and bolt made of brass. Okay, product code of brass is 85, DIN 85, which are manufactured by reliable hardware and metalwork. Plant layout design of SCC comprises assembly line where multiple products are assembled at one point of time. Hence, there are multiple workers who are using such nut and bolts simultaneously. Such nut and bolts come in a set along with the washer, and all 3 spares collectively consider a set. Since the plant facility of SCC is situated in a remote area, hence majority of workers are either unskilled or semi-skilled, and the literacy rate is also low among the workers. This causes variety of problems, including not informing production supervisor about reordering, not informing about reordering of such material. Due to ignorance in workers towards understanding the stock level and their relevance, many a time stock of such spares ordered later than it should be. Hence, we go out of stock. This further leads to stock out situation in some of the cases. Naturally, if you don't place order at time, if you are not following reorder level system, you may place an order, and if your lead time मतलब time interval between placement of order and delivery of material, आपका लीड टाइम अगर ज्यादा है और उसमें अगर स्टॉक खत्म हो जाता है, मुझे हर दिन 100 किलो लगता है, 600 किलो का स्टॉक मेरे पास है, लीड टाइम 6 दिन का है, तो मुझे आज के आज ऑर्डर करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि अगर आज मैंने ऑर्डर नहीं किया तो आज एक दिन का शॉर्टफॉल आ जाएगा, and for one day I'll be out of stock. I'll have to stop the production either, or I'll have to go for emergency purchase. Reliable Hardware and Metalworks is long-standing supplier of brass DIN 85 to SCC, hence reliable in terms of both quality as well as delivery time. Delivery time अपने लिए बहुत मैटर करता है. The company took single day as lead time to deliver the order quantity. Despite the reliability of supplier, SCC wished to maintain safety stock equivalent to 3 days consumption for production facility. Safety stock is an additional stock which is maintained by the company to meet with contingencies. SCC, using the latest version of SAP as enterprise resource planning, which is installed just 3-4 months back. Employees are being trained to use the respective modules of SAP, and integration among various functions modules is ongoing. Plant of SCC work for 6 days a week, and during the week they produce 1200 units. Guys, if you are producing 1200 units in 6 days, that means, can I say your consumption pattern is 200 units per day? Your consumption pattern is 200 units per day. The consumption of material 85 in order to assemble the cabin cars are constant throughout the year. SCC, during first phase of its drive to implement lean manufacturing. Lean manufacturing is wastage manufacturing. Lean manufacturing is avoiding wastage. And we are working on its operational efficiency and tries to reduce inventory by introducing a Kanban system. Kanban system is one of the prominent and effective systems of avoiding wastage. देखो, टाइम का जो वेस्टेज होता है ना, that is avoided by Kanban system. ये मेरा मशीन 1 है, ये मेरा मशीन 2 है, और हमारे यहाँ प्रोडक्शन चल रहा है. This is machine 1, this is machine 2, this is machine 1, this is machine 2. मशीन 1 से जो आउटपुट आएगा वो मशीन 2 में जाएगा. अगर यहाँ पे टाइम पे आउटपुट नहीं निकला तो मशीन 2 में वेटिंग टाइम आ जाएगा. Because unless I input material from M1, machine 2 cannot begin. So those operators who are working, those people who are associated with M2 will remain idle. Why? Because there is no output from machine 1. So यहाँ पे this is called downstream machine, this is called upstream machine. Downstream machine issues a Kanban card. Downstream machine issues a Kanban card. Kanban card has the quantity. The moment it is transferred, the moment it is received, your wastage of all kinds will be reduced here. Because यहाँ पे production होता जाएगा और यहाँ पे order place कर दी जाएगी. The moment order is placed, the material will be delivered. तो यहाँ पे wastage जो हो रहा है टाइम का, waiting time का, वो नहीं होगा. Explain the Kanban in inventory management for entity like SCC. Also explain Kanban to be applied for non-manufacturing entities. ठीक है. Calculate Kanban size and number of Kanban. Now this is a very important point. आपको exam perspective से ये करके ही जाना है, इसे ignore मत करना. List the factors to be considered and specific precautions and prerequisites and prior to SSC took task of applying Kanban card. पहले Kanban की बात करते हैं. देखो, they have given you Kanban information. I said ना, it is working on pull system of inventory. जब तक यहाँ से कार्ड नहीं जाएगा, जब तक यहाँ से ऑर्डर नहीं जाएगी, मटेरियल विल नॉट बी डिलीवर्ड. सो इसका काम खत्म होने के बाद यहाँ पे जाएंगे. बिकॉज M1 must be delivering material to different machines, including M2. So जब तक M2 से ऑर्डर नहीं जाएगा, it will keep on fulfilling requirement of others. So M2 will not have any waiting time. The moment M2 needs a material will be made available by M1. सो वी बिलीव इन पुल सिस्टम, मटेरियल दे तब मटेरियल दिया जाएगा। हम लोग बैठे राह देख रहे हैं, मटेरियल आया नहीं, अभी तक आया नहीं, अभी तक आया नहीं, ये सिचुएशन। आई होप यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस। सो what should be the size of Kanban? Kanban size should be in such a manner that your production of all kinds, your consumption of all kinds will be taken care of. और अब इसके लिए ना देखो थियरी वेरी छोड़ दो, ये Kanban size की बात कर लेते हैं because this is a very important concept. Kanban size का फॉर्मूला एकदम सिंपल है, it is basically your consumption multiplied by your lead time multiplied by your location and मतलब आप how many locations are to be covered and all that, and the last part is smoothing factor. Smoothing factor का मतलब ये होता है, देखो आपकी स्टॉक लेवल और कंजम्पशन लेवल हमेशा सेम होनी चाहिए, तो सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है. Your consumption is going at the same speed, your stock is also maintained at the same level. If your suddenly consumption goes up, stock level will be down, and then the gap is created. And the gap is created, उसको भरोगे कैसे? तो सबका मटेरियल तो रीऑर्डर लेवल पे ऑर्डर होते रहेगा, तो जरूरी नहीं कि उस टाइम पे मटेरियल आए. तो जनरली दिस इज कॉल्ड स्मूथिंग फैक्टर, कंपैरिजन ऑफ कंजम्पशन विद द स्टॉक लेवल. See, if consumption and level of stock throughout the period remain same, then smoothing factor is 1. वरना वो बढ़ते जाए. अगर कंजम्पशन बढ़ते गया तो स्मूथिंग फैक्टर बढ़ते जाएगा. स्टॉक ज्यादा है तो स्मूथिंग फैक्टर बढ़ेगा, आई मीन रादर, क्योंकि आप स्मूथली कैरी ऑन कर सकते हो. लेकिन कंजम्पशन बढ़ रहा है तो वो नेगेटिव जा सकता है. कंजम्पशन अगर बढ़ गया तो वो नेगेटिव जा सकता है. अपने लिए कंजम्पशन पर डे था 200, ये हम लोग ने ऑलरेडी कैलकुलेट कर रखा है. लीड टाइम एक दिन का था. देखो मतलब मुझे हर दिन 200 यूनिट चाहिए, एक दिन का लीड टाइम है, मतलब मेरे पास कम से कम 200 का स्टॉक बचना चाहिए, सो दैट बाय द टाइम आई प्लेस एन ऑर्डर एंड गेट द फ्रेश लॉट, एक दिन लगेगा, उस एक दिन का कंजम्पशन 200 यूनिट्स मेरे पास होना चाहिए. सो दैट इज व्हाई 200 into 1. दो लोकेशंस है, एक मेरी कंपनी और दूसरा वो सप्लायर. सो दो लोकेशंस है. स्मूथिंग फैक्टर के बारे में कुछ बोला नहीं है तो 1 अज्यूम कर लिया, तो 400 यूनिट्स का kanban कार्ड होगा. ईच kanban में 400 होगा, मतलब ये डिपार्टमेंट 400 का ऑर्डर देगा. इसके लिए 400 इनफ है टू कैरी ऑन द कंजम्पशन विदाउट वेस्टिंग टाइम. नाउ ये तो हम लोगों ने kanban का साइज डिसाइड कर लिया. लॉजिकली समझा आपको? 200 यूनिट्स मुझे हर दिन लगते हैं, एक दिन मुझे रुकना पड़ेगा, तो एक दिन का स्टॉक मेरे पास होना चाहिए, मतलब 200 का स्टॉक मेरे पास होना चाहिए. 200 का स्टॉक मेरे पास होना चाहिए, लेकिन दो आउटलेट्स है मेरे, दो प्लेसेस है मेरे, तो 400 का स्टॉक होना चाहिए, क्योंकि मेरे दोनों जगह पे कंजम्पशन हो सकता है, तो मेरे पास 400 का स्टॉक होना चाहिए. अच्छा, स्मूथिंग फैक्टर 1 है तो ठीक है, 400 का स्टॉक रखो. स्मूथिंग फैक्टर 2 होता तो 800 का स्टॉक होता, कंजम्पशन उससे कम होता. स्मूथिंग फैक्टर अगर 0.5 होता तो 200 का स्टॉक होता और कंजम्पशन ज्यादा होता. दैट वुड हैव बीन अ डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन टू टैकल. अब kanban साइज आपने ढूंढ ली, तो कितने kanbans होने चाहिए? kanban मींस kanban विल बी कंसीडर्ड एज 1 यूनिट. एक ऑर्डर मेरा 400 का है, जैसे आप ईओ की भेजते थे ना भाई, 400 यूनिट भेज दे, मेरा ऑर्डरिंग और कैरिंग कॉस्ट दोनों मिनिमाइज हो जाएगा. वैसे kanban का एक साइज 400 का है. अब मेरी बात ध्यान से सुनिए, मुझे 3 दिन का सेफ्टी स्टॉक रखना है, तो मेरे पास 600 यूनिट्स होने चाहिए. मेरे पास 600 यूनिट्स होने चाहिए, बराबर है. 600 का स्टॉक मुझे रखना है सेफ्टी स्टॉक के तौर पे, 200 का मुझे कंजम्पशन करना है, मतलब एट अ टाइम मुझे 800 यूनिट्स की जरूरत है. मेरे kanban का अगर साइज 400 है तो मुझे 2 kanban की जरूरत पड़ेगी. समझ में आया? सो बेसिकली एकदम सिंपल कैलकुलेशन है, मुझे 200 किलो चाहिए हर दिन. मैं एक दिन रुक सकता हूँ लीड टाइम के तौर पे, क्योंकि एक दिन लगने वाला है मटेरियल आने के लिए, तो आई शुड मेंटेन स्टॉक ऑफ 200 यूनिट्स, 200 किलो या 200 जो भी. अच्छा, लेकिन 2 सेंटर्स पे तो 400 और स्मूथिंग फैक्टर 1 है. ठीक है, स्मूथिंग फैक्टर आपको क्वेश्चन में दे देंगे, दे दो. यू आर नॉट एक्सपेक्टेड टू कैलकुलेट स्मूथिंग फैक्टर एंड ऑल. मल्टीप्लीकेशन करो 400 का आया। अच्छा, मुझे सेफ्टी स्टॉक बोला है क्वेश्चन में 3 दिन का होना चाहिए। 200 एक दिन में लगता है मुझे कंजम्पशन के लिए, 3 दिन में मुझे 600 लगेगा, तो 600 का स्टॉक रखूं, 200 का कंज्यूम करूं, तो बेसिकली 800 की जरूरत है मुझे यार। 800 की जरूरत है तो 2 कानबान काट दिए। समझ में आया? ये पूरे मॉड्यूल में कहीं नहीं था, डायरेक्टली इसमें आ चुका है। तो 100% चांसेस है ये आ सकता है एग्जाम में सीधा, एंड आई थिंक इट्स स्कोरिंग। फिर उन्होंने पूछा है कि फैक्टर्स टू बी कंसिडर्ड एंड स्पेसिफिक प्रिकॉशंस एंड प्रीरिक्विजिट्स टू Kanban system. Will supplier be ready to supply material in the lot size equal to Kanban size? मैंने बोला 400 भेज, उसको भी तो एक्सेप्ट होना चाहिए। हो सकता है कि उसके लिए 400 भेजना कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव ना हो, डिलीवरी कॉस्ट, ऑर्डरिंग कॉस्ट सब कुछ कंसीडर करना, ऑर्डर प्रोसेसिंग कॉस्ट कंसीडर करने के बाद। Will supplier participate in the pull system inventory? पुल सिस्टम इन्वेंट्री मतलब क्या है? जैसे मुझे जरूरत पड़ेगी तो मैं डिमांड करूंगा, मैं डिमांड करूंगा तो माल आएगा, बराबर। अच्छा, यहाँ पे हम लोग जो फंडा देख रहे हैं, इसमें इमीडिएट डिलीवरी की जरूरत पड़ेगी। सो इज योर सप्लायर रेडी टू सप्लाई द मटेरियल एज पर योर टर्म्स, एज पर योर लीड टाइम? Will the supplier will agree to supply material directly to the at a point of use? देखो, मुझे टाइम सेव करने के लिए लीन सिस्टम में हम लोग ने देखा है कि हम लोग स्टोरेज के अलावा एक सिंपल फंडा यूज करते हैं। भाई मैंने मटेरियल खरीदा तो डायरेक्ट फैक्ट्री में भेज, डायरेक्ट असेंबली लाइन में भेज, मैं वेयर हाउस पे भेजूंगा, वेयर हाउस से वो आएगा, इससे अच्छा डायरेक्ट असेंबली लाइन में भेज, सीधा मशीन में जाएगा। इज द सप्लायर रेडी टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट दैट? एंड व्हाट इज द रिक्वायरमेंट रिगार्डिंग हैंडलिंग एंड स्टोरेज ऑफ मटेरियल? मुझे जो थोड़ा बहुत मटेरियल जो स्टोर करना पड़ेगा, उससे रिलेटेड क्या फैक्टर्स है? हाउ मच विल बी द कॉस्ट, हाउ मच विल बी द इंश्योरेंस, हाउ मच इफ सम प्रोडक्ट्स रिक्वायर रेफ्रिजरेशन एंड कंट्रोल टेम्परेचर, तो उसको कैसे टैकल करूं? एंड फाइनली कंट्रीब्यूशन मार्जिन। See, if I'm selling the product, उसका उसमें फायदा की तरह है, ये पार्ट मुझे मालूम करना है। ऐसा क्यों? देखो, मेरे पास जो वर्कर्स है ना, वो इलिटरेट है, इनको रीऑर्डर लेवल वगैरह कुछ समझ में आने वाला है नहीं। Now in that situation, if they place order late, I will get material late. There will be stock out situation. Stock out situation has got its own demerits. Stock out cost होती है, जैसे you lose your potential profit in the market, that is your stock out cost. That is why contribution margin should be known to me. अरे अगर मैं 2 दिन बैठा रहा फिनिश गुड्स ना बना के, मैंने सोचा कि मटेरियल टाइम पे आएगा, मटेरियल टाइम पे आया नहीं और मुझे 2 दिन बैठना पड़ा ना दोस्तों। अगर 2 दिन मुझे बैठना पड़ा तो 2 दिन में जो मैं प्रोड्यूस करता वो अब प्रोड्यूस नहीं हो रहा है, 2 दिन में प्रोड्यूस करके जो बेच देता वो बिक नहीं रहा है, तो मेरा कंट्रीब्यूशन उसमें, my contribution is lost in that entire process. So I should make them realize कि आपकी वजह से इतना लॉस हो सकता है। So for that I need to know the contribution margin of each and every product that is being produced by me, जिसमें ये raw material लगता है। तो बस बाकी तो कुछ है नहीं इसमें, यही आपको याद रखना है। बट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट केस स्टडी इट इज, स्पेशली द कैलकुलेशन पार्ट। छोटे छोटा करके 2-2 मार्क के लिए आ जाएगा तो यू विल बी एबल टू स्कोर दिस। इज दैट क्लियर? अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट सिनारियो के ऊपर, जो भी वो जो वेस्टेज मिनिमाइजेशन पे ही काम कर रहा है। केस सिनारियो नंबर 4, A1 Automobile is a manufacturer of motorbikes. A1 is based in a country which has recently become liberal and global economy. Hence, till the time when businesses in the country was controlled by government, and the government, in order to maintain the price and domestic demand, regulates the market to maintain the uniformity in the price determined by the entities. The country is large enough with widespread population with high density. There is high demand for motorbike as a large population of the country in the age group of 18 to 24. A1 automobile enjoys reasonable market share. The new government in the country believes in deregulating markets and allows the import of foreign motorbikes. I can see the competition coming up. Management of A1 acknowledge that it utmost needs to make changes to its process in order to respond the competition from the foreign manufacturers. Further, A1's motorbikes are now being seen as expensive product in comparison to foreign competition because A1 motorbikes are costly. Currently, finance department uses traditionally standard costing and budget variance analysis on the basis of standards set semi-annually in order to monitor and control production activities. Management of A1 plans to improve its performance through the use of Kaizen costing. Required. Recommend key changes significant to A1's traditional costing system, and basically that is done to support Kaizen costing system. List the impact of implementation of Kaizen costing approach on the employee management of A1. अगर Kaizen implement करता हूं तो employee पे क्या असर होगा वो भी पूछा है. Okay, Kaizen क्या है? See, Kaizen costing is in simple terms talks about continuous improvement in the organization. Continuous improvement, saving number of hours while producing products, reducing cycle time. They can be very insignificant changes, but keep on doing them on a regular basis. Small incremental changes, but regularly applied and maintained for a longer period of time. Because once you keep on, every day, if I try to save 5 minutes, automatically every day 5 minutes, my working number of working days are 250. Just imagine 5 minutes per day into 100 workers. If you are having 500 minutes, you are saving per day, multiplied by 25 working days, the kind of enormous kind of a saving that you can have. That will enhance the efficiency also, because your workers will not sit idle. Whatever they are supposed to do in 8 hours, they will be doing it in 7 hours 55 minutes. That means they are not going to sit idle. Next 5 minutes also there will be some work done. So efficiency will go up. Improvement strategies are to be implemented on a regular basis. Even if it is insignificant, doesn't matter. Keep on rolling it, keep on doing it. Automatically you can get the success. So the whole idea behind implementing Kaizen system is avoiding all kinds of possible wastages, especially all non-value added faltu activity which are involved in the process. So for that I need to keep on checking my system, my production system, my admin system, and I need to figure out what exactly are the areas where that improvement is required. And I want all my additional processes, all my unwanted processes to be eliminated. So if I can get the material, if I can have a direct access for material to the assembly line, I should do that. I should not maintain the warehouse unnecessary to maintain the stock level. This was just an example. So basically it is gradual improvement. It encourages collective decision making and application of knowledge. There are no limits to the level of improvement that can be implemented. It involves setting standards and continuously improving those standards. Eliminating waste, improving system, improving productivity. Involves all employees and all areas of the business. Pervasive. Now how can that be used here? They have initially explained what is Kaizen system. Currently, A1 is using traditional standard costing system. That's what the question says. We need to understand one thing. If you are using traditional standard costing system, you are simply calculating variances based on the standard which was previously set. What if the market forces have changed after setting up the standard? There is no accounting for it. So the latest technique of standard costing says, if there is a change in the market scenario, if you feel like changing the standard, please do change the standard, revise your standard and compare your actual with the revised standard, not the original one. With this, you will come to know the exact performance of my team. Like for example, I thought product should be produced in 10. That's what my initial standard is. But after considering market forces, I've realized, no, I don't think it is possible that 10 रुपए में प्रोडक्ट हो जाएगा, 12 में बना दो. चलो, मेरे बंदे ने बना दिया 11 में. मेरा ओरिजिनल स्टैंडर्ड कहता था 10 रुपए में बना, मेरा रिवाइज स्टैंडर्ड कहता था 12 रुपए में बना दो, मेरे बंदे ने बना दिया 11 रुपए में. अगर आप ट्रेडिशनल अकाउंटिंग, ट्रेडिशनल स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्टिंग अप्लाई करते हो तो आपको लगेगा कि 10 के बदले 11 रुपए खर्च किया है, 1 रुपए एडवर्स वेरिएंस. जबकि एक्चुअली देखा जाए तो ये 1 रुपया फेवरेबल वेरिएंस है. सो आपको अगर एग्जैक्ट इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए अबाउट द सिस्टम दैट इज हैपनिंग, सी काइजन सिस्टम मतलब रेगुलर इंप्रूवमेंट के लिए रेगुलर इवैल्यूएशन तो करनी चाहिए. So cost control system to cost reduction system, whatever it takes, we need to change that. Reduction in the periodicity of setting standards. आप 6 महीने में एक स्टैंडर्ड सेट कर रहे हो, इससे अच्छा हर 2 महीने में स्टैंडर्ड सेट करो, हर महीने स्टैंडर्ड सेट करो, हर क्वार्टर स्टैंडर्ड सेट करो. Accordingly, the new change will be taken into consideration. रिवाइज तब होगा जब मार्केट फोर्सेस चेंज होंगे. तो मार्केट फोर्सेस तो क्वार्टरली चेंज हो सकते हैं, मंथली चेंज हो सकते हैं. यू इवैल्यूएट दैट एंड अकॉर्डिंगली कीप ऑन चेंजिंग योर स्टैंडर्ड्स. नाउ व्हेन यू सेट स्टैंडर्ड्स, डोंट सेट स्टैंडर्ड्स बाय योरसेल्फ. इन्वॉल्व योर टीम, इन्वॉल्व योर एग्जीक्यूटिव्स, इन्वॉल्व योर वर्कर्स एज अ पार्ट ऑफ इट. आप ऑफिस में जाते हो, आपको आपका बॉस बोलता है ये ले इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न 5 घंटे में फाइल कर दे. बैंक समरी से लेके सारा काम करना है. मुझसे तो पूछो, ओए कोई मुझसे तो पूछो, 5 मिनट में होता है, 5 घंटे में होगा कि नहीं होगा. Don't you think that is important? Things cannot be decided at managerial level and imposed on workers. Ask workers, कितना टाइम लगेगा? सर 6 घंटा, 5:30 में कर. यहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत खींचतानी हो सकता है यार, but you can't directly set the standard of 5. So involvement of staff is equally important. अब इससे होगा क्या? Employees will have the ownership feeling. यार मुझे कोई पूछ रहा है, स्टैंडर्ड सेट करने के लिए मुझे कोई पूछ रहा है. That creates acts as a motivation. That also acts as a motivation. और मेरे लिए काइजन इंप्लीमेंट करना बहुत आसान हो सकता है, because all my employees are aware of the standard. So any variation will be reported on a faster basis. Changes in culture. See, यहाँ पे सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये हो रहा है. From government regulated culture to employee self-empowered work culture will be a dramatic change for everyone. Under Kaizen system, employee group will be assigned the power to make continuous changes rather than just being executing the changes approved by the management. फर्क पड़ता है. आपको जब अथॉरिटी है कि सर आपने मुझे 18 घंटे दिए थे ये काम करने के लिए, ये 17 में हो सकता है, मेरे हिसाब से इसको 17 में हो जाना चाहिए. You have an authority to change the standard. That means you are not only participative, you get the ownership feeling. अपनेपन का जो एहसास होता है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए, that also motivates the worker. So these are the factors which you need to consider. इसमें हम लोगों ने वेस्टेज रिड्यूस करने के लिए लीन सिस्टम है, उसी का पूरा कैलकुलेशन, उसी का पूरा डिस्कशन चल रहा है. आफ्टर दिस केस सिनारियो आई वुड लाइक टू गो फॉर सिमिलर वन. सिनारियो नंबर 9. Toys Limited manufactures toys and games for the children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. They have recently shifted to STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics learning approach. The major games under this category are do-it-yourself kits. Each kit is designed with a specific learning objective. This kit comprises of all the elements which are essential to build the specific project. The number of elements in a kit range from 200 to 350 elements, and there is an instruction booklet in the kit which guides the user throughout the project. Basically, they have explained about the finished product. The user can also use the video support which is provided with the specific user login. Okay. In last 2 months, the customer support division has reported major increase in customer complaints. The critical study revealed that the major complaints were under the category of missing elements. Further study revealed that most of these complaints were for the products which had some common elements in the kit. On the other hand, the customer feedback and reviews has been very positive on the quality of elements provided with the kits. So the main problem was with the products which had some common elements with the kit. Since innovation is the core competency of the game industry, the company has a dedicated research and development team which focuses on 3 areas. One is identification of new learning techniques, and second one is development of new games, upgradation of existing games. Under the current system, the games are sold online. The final product is delivered from the central warehouse located in Bangalore. The company holds a minimum inventory of the games at the central warehouse. The manufacturing facility is located at the industrial area which is around 50 kilometers from the central warehouse. The production plan is based on the demand as per the instruction from the central warehouse. The chief quality officer is responsible for the quality of the product right from the procurement of the raw material till the final product is delivered to the customer. The CEO has called a meeting of all heads and suggested them to implement lean management and integrated the same with some innovation in the organization. After a series of brainstorming sessions, they have agreed to implement 5S lean management system required. Advise implementation of 5S in Toys Limited. 5S. 5S again a Japanese technology which is basically used for streamlining the workplace. Streamlining the workplace. It includes Seri, Seton, Seiso, Saketsu, Shitsuke. How workplace should be organized efficiently and effectively, and it basically applied for healthcare, education and government sector. Seri means sorted out. You should be very clear about what are the obstacles. Remove those obstacles from your system. Automatically the wastage of all kinds will be eliminated. Unnecessary items, unnecessary processes are to be avoided. Accumulation of stock unnecessarily not required. You can apply just-in-time approach, or you can have a tie-up with the supplier to get the material directly distributed to the assembly line directly in the factory. Second one is set in order. You'll have to arrange all these resources in a proper manner. If there is no arrangement, then a wrong material must be picked up, or wrong resources will be used at a wrong time. Like ensure FIFO method, like whatever is produced first will be sold first, whatever is purchased first will be consumed first. If you do that, your product will not be obsolete because your latest product will be there with you. Your old product will be sold first. So there are very less chances that your product will be obsolete. Third one is Seiso, cleanliness, hygiene. Then Seiketsu, standardize the practices that you have so that even if there is a new employee, he will not have any problem. He knows the system. He knows the system. Like you have so many systems here. Like whenever we go to pay bill, We have to stand in a queue. That's the system. So even if you are new, you're going to follow that. So if your organization has a system in terms of process implementation, in terms of production, in terms of administration, all these systems will be inculcated automatically in your day-to-day business organization, day-to-day business activities, and you can actually proceed with it. Sitsuke, sustain, stay in the market, be disciplined, have an attachment towards the work that you're doing. Sometimes you can even think of doing something which is not being told to you. Work towards the goal and achieve the goal in a much faster manner. So what are we supposed to do here? I have simply explained these 5 methods. So basically we are not supposed to do anything else. They're just supposed to explain all 5 S as a part of the answer. You understood this? See, eventually though there is a question में as such company में कोई problem नहीं लग रहा है. The हाथी घोड़ा एकदम significant problem नहीं है company. So if you can implement those 5 bases, your work is done. That's it. इतना सिंपल है, पर इसमें बेसिकली उनको पूछना था 5 ways. क्वेश्चन के बदले केस सिनेरियो डाल दिया. So one is the same. In fact ये तो केस स्टडी से भी सिंपल था. एटलीस्ट कोई फालतू में केस सिनेरियो बना के दिया है. इससे जो तो पूछ सकते थे ना, एक्सप्लेन 5 ways. करते हैं ना बच्चे. You think, and they ask something else. So overthinking also creates a problem. देखो आपको क्या बोला था, 5 ways क्या है, तो 5 ways देके आप क्या कर सकते हो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में बता दो, खत्म हो गई बात. You understood this part? Now let's go for the last question of lean, last case scenario of lean system and innovation. And there is one more case scenario given. Divar Bikes is large national bike manufacturing company established in the year 2003. The company has a strong position in the market and has also traditionally achieved a good market share, however facing tough competition. So competition is my current problem. Keep in mind. The board of DB recognizes that it needs to make fundamental changes to the production approach and basically in order to combat increased competition from the foreign manufacturers. DB is now being seen as a non-lucrative, pollutive and with less safety features as compared to foreign bikes. The board plans to address this by improving quality of its bikes as well as financial performance. So we seek quality improvement. The components are sourced directly by DB. Suppliers are located worldwide. That's the problem. Lead time, distribution. Suppliers are evaluated on ongoing basis and including an assessment of whether to utilize new or alternate supplier to improve the capacity and performance. The company is having a lot of components piled up in stock and few of them are becoming obsolete. There is a lot of reworking as both internal and external failure are more, so the wastage of resources in reworking needs to be controlled. In DB, production process is grouped by function and production teams comprising of a number of permanent members who had acquired their position through seniority and few newly selected special staff who had yet to discuss their position in any team. So it's a combination of I would say skilled and unskilled. Okay. The process of making bike can be roughly divided into stamping, welding, painting, assembly, inspection, which takes about 11 to 12 hours in total. This is a cycle time. The standard time to manufacture similar bike is 8 to 9 hours. So guys, you need to work on your external factors, rather your internal factors like cycle time. If you reduce your cycle time is time involved in producing one unit. You reduce that, automatically you will be able to produce more, your productivity will enhance, you'll be able to deliver more to the market, which will lead to your rise in market share. The nature of end product demand is unstable due to economic factor. This is one more problem. However, DB forecasts demand based on its internal policies and historical trends. DB sales its bike in retail stores located over 10 metro cities. It focuses on building close relationship with retailers and working with them to sell its bike on a compelling manner. Manga kya hai? Your newly appointed Management Accounting Department of DB Chief Management Accountant asked you to draft a report to CEO as far as analysis of quality cost is concerned, and you're supposed to advise on two measures to reduce non-conformance cost. Advise on implementation of just-in-time purchasing and production. Okay, we have been given the annexure. Prevention cost, suppliers review, appraisal cost, equipment testing, internal failure cost, downtime, which is idle time, manufacturing rework, external failure, customer complaints, and warranty repairs. So, what are you trying to do? See, total productive maintenance, and the second one is total quality maintenance. Let me first tell you about ये part. जिसको reduce करने की बात करते हैं वो क्या है? Non-conformance cost. Non-conformance cost means the cost which is gone in the wrong direction. जाना था जापान पहुंच गए चीन. You shouldn't have incurred cost there, but you have incurred cost in that field. Like for example, I would always prefer my cost not to get incurred on rework. I would always prefer my cost not to get incurred on rework. Rework करने में खर्चा डालने से अच्छा मैं inspection पे डालूंगा. Protective cost is always better than restorative. You know that protection is better than restoration, right? So I don't mind spending on protection. I don't mind spending on inspection. I don't mind spending on quality control, not on rework. It's a duplication of work unnecessary, and plus it is not giving me any return. It is not giving me any reward. So non-conformance cost means cost which is gone in the wrong direction. So what you can do is you can improve your total productive maintenance and total quality management. Now when I talk about total quality management and total productive maintenance, let me tell you very precisely. Productive maintenance means you have to reduce something which is related to production part, like downtime. Downtime is an outcome of failure of total productive maintenance. Had there been no maintenance, had there been a maintenance done in a proper manner, there wouldn't have been your idle time, downtime. You have warranty repairs, you have customer complaints. Now see, something that needs production process to be improved will be recorded under total productive maintenance, and something which is required overall enhancement of quality structure, that will be in total quality management. So basically, see, we'll be working in the field of planning, manufacturing and maintenance. All equipments are in top working conditions, no breakdown, no delays in manufacturing process. Keeping all equipments in good working conditions, no downtime, machine breakdown. See, they have given the same thing. That's whatever we discussed even before reading this. And your total quality management is about continual improvement of internal practices. It's a continual improvement of internal practices, like all your production standards, all your production techniques, all your material procurement techniques are to be changed on a regular basis. Why don't you implement AIT? you will not be required to maintain the stock. Why don't you transfer? Why don't you have a tie-up with the supplier and ask him to directly supply the material to the assembly line, to the factory? Why is he transferring to warehouse and then again it is going to the factory or assembly line? Why two transportations are required? One transportation is enough. No? Ye sab karo. So overall structure, if you see, while applying the two measures, the consideration must be therefore be given to the optimum balance between cost of conformance and cost of non-conformance. समझे? Implementation, see, implementation of just in time. Just in time purchasing will, सबसे बड़ा क्या है? Reduce stock. It reduces stock, it reduces inventory. When inventory is reduced, your carrying cost is saved. Your money is not blocked. You are not incurring a huge amount on storage and all, insurance and all. Plus, through JIT, you can also secure your quality of the material. Your team may visit the supplier's premises on a recurring basis in order to inspect the quality that is being delivered to us. सप्लायर के दुकान में जाओ, चेक करो, सप्लायर के शॉप में जाओ, वेयरहाउस में जाओ, चेक करो किस टाइप का माल हम लोग को भेजने वाला है. Okay, and then there has to be a reconfirmation so that I can maintain the quality also. So there is no sorting and piling expenditure required to be incurred in my factory once the material is delivered. यार randomly आप material उठा के लेके आते हो, फिर मैं अपने factory में बैठ के sort out करूँ. इससे अच्छा मेरे पास sorted out material ही आ जाए तो I can directly use it for consumption. मेरा assembly line में जो time wastage हो रहा है वो बच जाएगा. I hope you are understanding this. So all this can be achieved through JIT. So basically, see, this is the last part which you must study. This you must write this part as it is. The board desires to improve the quality as well as financial position, which can be achieved through successful implementation of quality control and lean system. However, the factors discussed above should be taken care of. It is worthwhile to note that any return on investment in the proposed system must be viewed long term rather than short term, since optimum results may not be realized until the system has been in place for some time. The result will be late. It's not that you will implement the system and the result will be delivered next day. It will take time for you to get accustomed to the system. It will take time for you to see the elimination of those wastages, elimination of non-value added processes, elimination of unwanted cost structures. Once that is done, once the entire cycle is over, you will actually start getting the fruits or the benefit of whatever you have done, whatever you have implemented. See, since there is no financial data given as such in terms of, like, see, I can understand this is a cost given, but there is no information given about revenue and all that. So we cannot comment on economical stability of the company and all economic factors. So here in this question we are majorly focusing on reducing wastages, and if we are reducing wastages, lean system has to be implemented. Total production maintenance, total quality management, just in time approach, this is what we are supposed to suggest in the form of a report. So you have to present the answer in terms of report the way they have done. So basically you must have realized one thing, case studies and case scenarios are more or less same. Here they actually are giving you the same data, but as I told you, the case scenario is different from case study in practical life. Case scenario is anticipation of some future event and using it, and the brainstorming starts, so that the reality में अगर ऐसा कुछ हुआ तो how to handle that. So you can use this as a training program also. So ये हमको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता as a student. हमको केस देंगे, हमको सोल्यूशन देना है, सोल्यूशन देने में हमको सारे कंसेप्ट जो 5 थियरी टॉपिक पे पढ़े वो सब उतारने पड़ेंगे. अपने पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है. This is what you are supposed to do. I hope guys this lean system concept is completely understood properly. Now let's get started with case scenario 1. Corner is an online pizza delivery business. Corner is one of the QSR that created its own system, website, and application. What is QSR? QSR means Quick Service Restaurant. Corner's pizza baking points having a home delivery system. Okay. Due to popularity of e-commerce awareness among the customers, online food order system come up with a new opportunity of food business. Corner has grown rapidly due to boom in online platform. It is now operating around 1000 points. Corner's vision is to increase shareholders' wealth by making and timely delivery of quality pizza. Corner provides customized pizzas as per customer's taste. Okay, so customer is given the priority. People choose to order pizza online for different reasons, not wanting or having them to cook. Is one reason. Do not have to wait in a queue to place an order. एक तो खुद को बनाना नहीं पड़े और दूसरा जाके लाइन में खड़ा नहीं रहने पड़े तो मंगा लेते हैं. During happy hours 4 to 7, baking points have a great deal of both pizzas and beverages. The customers can call, text, or order pizzas online. Corner's collection and delivery services use delivery motorcycles and scooters to transport pizza parcels. The process consists of customer choosing a restaurant of their choice, scanning the menu, choosing an item, finally choosing the place of delivery. Payment is then managed by cash on delivery or with a credit card, debit card, etc. When the delivery boy delivers the pizza at customer's place of delivery. Can I say this is completely customer oriented? So, what is the issue? The delivery service is slow. It uses automated reminder service like dial my calls to send updates to customers about the status of their order. When it goes into oven, when it comes out, when it is out for delivery, and so on. Customers are willing to wait a little longer if they know that the pizza is on the way. Slow delivery reduces the taste, aroma, and flavor of pizzas delivered. So basically, your quality is at stake because of your delayed deliveries. Recently, financial performance and market share is deteriorated. CEO of Corner believes that a reduction in customer satisfaction and flexibility caused by a decline in operational performance. Okay. So, reduction in customer satisfaction and flexibility caused by decline in operational performance may have led to recent deterioration. It has been suggested that to use Lynch and Cross's performance pyramid to reverse the deterioration, and 4 new measures of operational performance have been suggested. Now, if you talk about performance pyramid, let me tell you, performance pyramid goes this way. You first focus on external effectiveness. Now, when it comes to external effectiveness, you need to take into consideration 2 things. One is the quality and the other one is delivery. In our case, if I manage delivery, quality will also be managed. I don't think question is tilting towards quality. Quality में problem है ऐसा नहीं बोला, but delivery late होने की वजह से quality खराब हो रही है. इसका मतलब if I take care of delivery, automatically this portion will also be taken care of. This will lead to customers' satisfaction. Live tracking system, GPS tracker system is suggested to be implemented. Number of successful deliveries per day. On the basis of this, you can find out whether things are going right or wrong. On-time delivery matter will be presented in terms of percentage of pizza delivered within 30 minutes of booking time. Higher the better. Fuel consumption and improving the taste. Percentage of positive feedback. Improving the taste, it is proposed to use pizza delivery bags to keep the pizzas hot and fresh. So we need to focus around this. Now see, when I talk about delivery थोड़ा डीले है तो आप एक काम कर सकते हो, थोड़ा इंटरनल काम कर लो, रिड्यूस साइकिल टाइम. साइकिल टाइम मतलब टाइम रिक्वायर्ड टू प्रोड्यूस 1 यूनिट. अगर ये कम करते हो, इफ आई रिड्यूस साइकिल टाइम, तो डिलीवरी में जो ज्यादा टाइम लगता है वो सेट ऑफ हो जाएगा. हाँ, बट क्वालिटी विल स्टिल गेट अफेक्टेड. ऑफ कोर्स पिज्जा बैग्स की वजह से क्वालिटी थोड़ी सी मेंटेन करने में मदद होगी, बट दिस इज माय मेन कंसर्न. सो साइकिल टाइम कैन बी reduced by using live tracking system. Live tracking system is a key to improve productivity and profitability. It can help in taking well-versed decision and schedule pizza delivery more efficiently. GPS device tracker will allow real-time monitoring of vehicles and offer detailed insights of fuel usage, driver's behavior, engine's idle time. लाइव ट्रैकिंग होने के बाद आपको पता चलेगा किस रूट से जा रहा है, कौन सा रूट ले रहा है, कितने टाइम पे पहुंच रहा है. अकॉर्डिंगली यू विल बी एबल टू इवैल्यूएट द एफिशिएंसी ऑफ द ड्राइवर और द डिलीवरी बॉय. हो सकता है कि वो लोग घूम के जा रहे होंगे, वो लोग टाइम पास कर रहे होंगे. सी देयर कैन बी सो मेनी अदर रीजंस. बट आप अगर लाइव ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम डाल देते हो, अगर लाइव ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम इंप्लीमेंट कर देते हो, तो थिंग्स बिकम वेरी इजी फॉर यू ऑल्सो टू मॉनिटर. देखो, कस्टमर को पता चलता है, दैट इज फाइन. आपको पता चलना ज्यादा जरूरी है, किस रूट से गया है, ये स्पीड से गया है, कहीं पे हॉल्ट लिया है क्या, चाय पीने के लिए रुका कहीं पे. So there are so many factors, but live tracking system will help you out in tracking the delivery boy. This may lead to increase in number of deliveries per day, and more deliveries will be converted into more business. Actually, ना जब डिलीवरी बॉयज को पता चलेगा देयर इज अ लाइव ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम, दे विल नॉट डेयर टू वेस्ट टाइम व्हाइल डिलीवरिंग द पिज्जा. प्लस फ्यूल कंजम्पशन होगा क्योंकि गलत रूट नहीं लिया जाएगा. अननेसेसरी ओवर टाइम कॉस्ट नहीं होगी. रिड्यूसिंग फ्यूल कंजम्पशन विल लीड टू इंप्रूवमेंट इन फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस. फिर ये फैक्टर भी आप कोट कर सकते हो. देखो, अगर वो लंबा रूट नहीं लेता, अगर वो फ्यूल बचाता है, तो मेरे लिए वेस्ट बचा रहा है, मेरे लिए वेस्टेज बचा रहा है. सेम काम करने के लिए जो काम 2 लीटर पेट्रोल में हो सकता है, उसके लिए 2.5 लीटर पेट्रोल अगर लगेगा, तो दैट विल लीड टू वेस्टेज. एनीथिंग यूज्ड बियॉन्ड इट्स रिक्वायरमेंट इज अ वेस्टेज. So that can be saved. The loyal and satisfied client is the basic key to success. Paramount to success means basic key to success for the food delivery business. With the assistance of tracking system, pizza delivery vehicles will respond service calls quickly and will reach the destination on time. Customers are likely to value on-time pizza delivery very much, and this will be one of the main causes to choose corner as their choice. The proportion of on-time delivery is a measure for operational performance, which is a core key driver for customer satisfaction. Moreover, use of pizza delivery bags will keep the pizza hot and fresh, and that will improve the taste, aroma, and flavors of pizzas, which is also related to the quality element of the performance pyramid and the key driver for the customer satisfaction. That's what I told you when I was explaining this. सारे प्रॉब्लम आपके सॉल्व हो सकते हैं. बस आपको क्या करना है पता है, इसमें पहले परफॉर्मेंस पिरामिड एक्सप्लेन करना है, एक्सटर्नल इंटरनल. इफ यू मैनेज दिस, दिस विल बी मैनेज्ड. प्लस आप बैग्स दे रहे हो, पिज्जा डिलीवरी बैग्स, तो वैसे भी ये मैनेज हो जाएगा. साइकिल टाइम कम कर रहे हो तो वो भी एक एडवांटेज है. सो बेसिकली आप अपने साइड से सब कुछ चीजें कवर कर रहे हो. सो व्हेन यू एक्सप्लेन परफॉर्मेंस पिरामिड, आप वहीं पे क्वेश्चन में से पॉइंट्स निकाल के बता सकते हो कि भाई बैग्स की वजह से क्वालिटी मेंटेन होगी, ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम की वजह से डिलीवरी फास्टर होगा, साइकिल टाइम कम करने से कम टाइम लगेगा पिज्जा बनाने में और डिलीवर करने में, और अगर ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम है तो ट्रैवलिंग वाला जो फंडा है वहां पे वेस्टेज कम होगा. अगर ये सब होता है तो कस्टमर सेटिस्फाइड, इमीडिएटली द पिज्जा विल बी मेड अवेलेबल. धीरे 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 यू कैन कैप्चर द मार्केट. पेट्रोल कंजम्पशन अगर कम हो जाता है तो इट विल इंप्रूव योर कॉस्ट स्ट्रक्चर, इट विल गिव यू फाइनेंशियल बेनिफिट, एंड द विजन ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज फुलफिल्ड. सो बेसिकली आपको ना सबसे पहले परफॉर्मेंस पिरामिड याद करना है, उसको एक्सप्लेन करना है, चाहिए तो डायग्राम निकाल के दिखा दो, एंड देन यू पुट योर ऑल आइटम्स गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन इन ऑल दिस। मेरे पास 4 ऑप्शंस दिए थे इन लोगों ने, लाइव ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम, ऑन टाइम डिलीवरी, फ्यूल कंजम्पशन, ये तो ये सारे चारों आइटम्स उस पिरामिड के डेटा में आप यूज कर सकते हो, एंड यू कैन प्रेजेंट इट द वे यू वांट। दिस वाज योर केस सिनेरियो नंबर 1। आइए चलते अगले केस सिनेरियो पे जो परफॉर्मेंस मेजरमेंट से ही रिलेटेड है। मैं टॉपिक वाइज एनालिसिस कर रहा हूं, आई एम नॉट गोइंग क्वेश्चन वाइज, आई एम गोइंग टॉपिक वाइज। अब परफॉर्मेंस मेजरमेंट एंड इवैल्यूएशन टॉपिक जो आपका सिलेबस में है, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट। So let's go to one more case scenario related to performance measurement and evaluation, and that is going to be scenario number 8. Case scenario number 8. Fashion industry prospered more than any other industry, and it kept blooming with the new trends being brought weekly, and almost all being sold in no time. The next gen clothing is into fashion industry situated in the outskirts of Deshipur, had several textile plants nurturing the needs of the community. NGC had a good base of laborers, farmers, and few of them aged under 40 from nearby locations enrolled into the program. Aged below 14. I don't know why, but I can see the problem of child labor here. I can see the problem of child labor here. Let's see how things work. Aage. They had no source of employment past the clothing plants. It gave boost to their living avenues with receptivity to all modern facilities of living. They worked overtime to get NGC to where it wanted to be. Okay. Raw material did not cost much, given the local availability and the cheap quality. मैंने कहा था ना, हर केस स्टडी केस सिनेरियो में जो प्रॉब्लम्स है उसको अंडरलाइन करते रहो, उनको पॉइंट आउट करते रहो, यू विल बी मोर कंफर्टेबल. The low financial cost and low sale price is offered to its customers, allowed in turn to churn out cotton and viscose fabricated clothes in a humongous quantity. The citizens love these articrafts brought out by designers, and cotton material please them. ठीक है, मतलब अब customers seem to be happy. NGC had no history of reporting sustainable efforts to build up a strong environment to work in. It reported phenomenally huge profits in the last 3 years and paid out impressive dividends to its shareholders, bonuses, and lucrative overtime payments to laborers. All were happy, and no one complained about the sustainability aspect and the duty it owes to its surroundings and the greater environment. This is a problem. The community focused on the form rather than the substance. It kept overlooking the brutal effects of producing cotton and viscose in local farms, which was the primary source of raw material for the company. One day, the company learned that a scholar born and brought up in Desipur, studied in Northern America, returned to his hometown. He presented brainstorming session to civilized people, which made them rethink on their clothing habits. His sessions were summarized below. Cotton. First of all, the production of cotton involves enormous water usage. That's the problem. So it's an environmental issue, which is already a scarce resource globally. Just to manufacture cotton, enough to make t-shirts involves using liters of water, Above that, fertilizers and pesticides employed takes a toll on farmers' health. They become ill often than not. Not just the cotton producing process is environmentally non-tenable, it involves tons of water of spinning the cotton and dyeing the fabric to make the cloth. The chemical composed water then flows in the nearby rivers and hampers the life of water beings and people around. The environmental problem to dikh raha hai. Viscose. It's a semi-synthetic matter derived directly from the wool pulp and converted into cloth by application of chemicals and water. Most of the deforestation can be ascribed to a paper production and rayon production. Deforestation मतलब जंगल तोड़ के आप मटेरियल पैदा कर रहे हो. The greedy merchants overlook even the protected areas to get the required pulp. The sprouting air pollution and water pollution has left community residents forsaken to cry over their fate. The use of harmful chemicals leads to diseases like cancer and heart strokes. We, the customers. The ridiculously low prices of clothes with the advent of the internet have created a desperate demand for the clothes and have led to surge in the buying frequency. Hardly few of us contemplate on how a t-shirt or jeans we are wearing was made and what processes they have to undergo before it took that shape and extent of loss and injury it caused persistently. मतलब हम लोग कभी ये नहीं सोचते कि सस्ते में कपड़ा तो मिल रहा है लेकिन उस सस्ता कपड़ा लाने के चक्कर में क्या क्या नुकसान किया होगा. That's what the question is saying. In a nutshell, his sessions were about the ideas hinting at the destructive impact on the environment that the company is bringing to their plate. They gave patient listening to his all talks, well fabricated in the native language and free from any fictions. The training sessions with the scholar Raghu picked up many years and it was all over the country, and the company started to perceive this as a verge of its downfall. NGC had to give rethinking on the way clothes were made. Recommend ways to bring turnaround in the reporting framework. Go extra miles to do something sustainable for the environment. If you want to go sustainable for the environment, first of all, you should stop causing damage to the environment. Now, since the question is asking us to think about environmental problems and all, basically, I could see not only environmental problem, but I could see a social problem there. Your laborers are less than 14 years. It's a child labor problem. That takes me to the concept of triple bottom line. Triple bottom line is again a non-financial, a social measure of performance evaluation, where your performance will be measured in three criteria. One is the environmental, second one is social, and the third one is economic. Of course, economic will be part of it, but the major focus will be on social causes like how the community is being served, how workers are being served, how suppliers are being served, and how they are actually growing in terms of capabilities, in terms of skill, and of course, the most important is environmental aspects. So if I talk about that, my first thinking is about producing quality material. See, just because you have a customer base at a cheaper rate, you are producing something which is causing damage to the environment. You should first avoid this. You can spread awareness among the customers that how it causes a problem to the environment, how it will create a problem for you in the long run. आप customer को समझाओ, customer को make the customer aware of the risk that is being happening. जैसे cigarette manufacturers in India, आपने देखा होगा. Cigarette manufacturers they contribute highest or a huge amount of tax to the government. Look at the anti-smoking campaign that is going on in the country. In fact, it is made mandatory for cigarette manufacturers to print that message about cancer, about not having tobacco on their packet itself. Just as a curiosity, just as a general knowledge, you may see a packet. Just as a curiosity, you may see a packet. You will see the picture of the cancer caused patient, or the message cancer, the tobacco causes cancer and all. So when you see that packet, you get to see that. That is example of customer awareness. चल लेने वाला लेगा ये अलग बात है, बट सोचेगा तो सही 2 बार. आप 10% लोगों को अगर प्रोहिबिट कर पाओ तो भी बहुत. So it is made mandatory for cigarette manufacturers only by the government to print that on their packet, and larger portion of packet must be covered by that. That is also a stipulation, that is also a condition. तो मतलब पैकेट का ज्यादा से ज्यादा हिस्से पे वही दिखता है यार. So some people may get affected because of it, and they may quit smoking. So spreading awareness among the customer is important. Then you can use organic material without causing any safety problem. नदी में तुम लोग वेस्ट बहा रहे हो, deforestation चल रहा है. We all know the impact of deforestation. So you are supposed to write that. Channelizing efforts towards recycling. Now, अगर organic material सारे cases में possible नहीं है, तो you can think of recycling. जैसे sportswear होता है आज, they all are recycled material. I can give you the example. ये जितने भी branded sports cloth sports brand है, जितने भी sports brand, the material that they use to produce their t-shirts or shorts and all, they are all from a recycled material. So in one way, they are contributing even to the environment, to the society, by saving the environment. Compliance of labor law, as I said, major people are below 14. Producing polycloths, this is what I was referring to. Recycled polyester material you can use. Recycled polyester material you can use, or see, the plastic material like ketchup bottles, pickle, oil containers are processed in a liquid consistency, which is then turned into a reusable fabrics. So demand for cotton cloths is surging globally, and polyester made clothes appear to bring the switch over. So you are not depleting resources, आप resources खर्च नहीं कर रहे हो, आप waste को recycle करके material बना रहे हो. So basically you're serving the nature, you're serving the environment. Reducing the usage of water consumption. Naturally अगर आप organic material use करना शुरू कर दोगे तो ये yarn, ये cotton, ये wool will use करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, even that will be saved. No. What is the overall perception? Considering the above approaches, it is perceived that the company can bring a significant positivity to its environment. Being socially responsible part of the community, it owes a duty to its surroundings and not just the capital providers. Hence, it is also recommended that it should hire an expert who can assist in the presentation and preparation of sustainability report on triple bottom line framework. The report satisfies the informational needs for stakeholders like government, regulatories, employees, local residents, customers. Once company implements some of the suggested sustainable approach to manufacturing clothes, new policies and efforts can be reported in the triple bottom line framework reporting. This will provide reputational advantage. सबसे important ये part है, reputational advantage, and also the competitive edge over the competitors in the same industry. आई बात समझ गए? So basically आपको क्वेश्चन पढ़ के अंदाजा आना चाहिए कि यहाँ पे फॉल्ट क्या है. अगर आपको प्रॉब्लम पता चला तो आपको सॉल्यूशन पता चलेगा. मुझे यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम पता चला, चाइल्ड लेबर, सोशल प्रॉब्लम, एनवायरमेंटल हजार्ड्स, एनवायरमेंटल डैमेज, एनवायरमेंटल प्रॉब्लम, financial profit going down, financial problem. Basically it is an outcome of first two. तो मुझे पता चला ट्रिपल बॉटम लाइन यहाँ पे यूज कर सकते हैं. Just explain triple bottom line and relate points given in the question to triple bottom line. मैं कह रहा हूँ मैं फर्स्ट केस स्टडी से कह रहा हूँ आपको, इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी डिफिकल्ट. आप क्वेश्चन पढ़ो, समझ लो, प्रॉब्लम्स मार्क डाउन करो, उस प्रॉब्लम का ही सोल्यूशन आपको देना है. बस उससे आपको सिर्फ रिलेट करना है कि ओके is it related to performance measurement, is it a wastage that they are talking about. क्योंकि वेस्टेज कम करना है तो लीन सिस्टम में जाना पड़ेगा. अगर नए मॉडर्न टेक्निक्स यूज करने हैं तो मॉडर्न टेक्निक्स वाले फंडे यूज करने पड़ेंगे. अगर टर्न अराउंड करना है तो 6 सिग्मा करना है. अगर मुझे प्रॉपर मेंटेन करना है तो 5 एस करना है, सिंसुकी वगैरह वो जो भी आपने पढ़ा है, वो सॉर्ट एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ. तो बेसिकली आपको पहले तो पांचों टॉपिक थियरी के अच्छे तरह से पढ़ने पड़ेंगे, उसके बाद उनको इंप्लीमेंट करना पड़ेगा. दैट इज व्हाई केस स्टडी इज फाउंड डिफिकल्ट बाय अ फ्यू स्टूडेंट्स. जिसने अब हम लोग को क्या है ना, थियरी पूरा पढ़ने का आदत नहीं. यहाँ पे थियरी आपको पूरी पढ़नी पड़ेगी. सो दैट वाज योर सिनेरियो नंबर 8 that we discussed. Let's go to scenario number 11, which is also based on performance measurement. Case scenario number 11. ABC is a mid-sized chartered accountancy firm having 5 branches in India. Their major revenue segments are statutory compliances, taxation practice, audit and assurance, and consultancy services. Their founder partner in a recently organized year-end closing meeting with all working partners has given the following vision statement for the next year. Next financial year, ABC should use results and determinants based framework for each revenue segment and current rewards scheme to be remolded, or rather remodeled. Remodel एक ही बात. You change the structure to clear result oriented one. Describe management strategy the founder partner of the firm referring to. List the performance measures that might be used. पूरा चैप्टर खोल के रख दिया. क्या क्या कर सकते हैं. देखो रिवॉर्ड्स, अगर आपको थोड़ा बहुत याद है, रिवॉर्ड्स, गोल्स, अचीवमेंट वगैरह से रिलेटेड एक कॉन्सेप्ट आपने पढ़ा होगा, बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक मॉडल. बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक मॉडल में which is given by Fitzgerald and Hoon, उसमें क्लियर कट उन्होंने कहा है, like when you set standards, those standards should be equal for all, difficult for one, easy for other one, no? And they should be achievable, and they should have the ownership feeling in that. Ownership का मतलब ये होता है कि employees, when you put the when you evaluate an employee and when you claim that okay this is done by the employee, he should not have a feeling that ये मेरे पे impose हो रहा है, मैंने ऐसा किया नहीं है. Okay, this is what you have done, accept it. Acceptability. See, ownership मतलब responsibility. You should feel responsible for what you have done. So standard एकदम clear, equal होने चाहिए सबके लिए, achievable होने चाहिए, and you cannot impose things on employees. क्योंकि standards अगर set करोगे तो आप reward set कर पाओगे, because reward is a best form of motivation. सबसे पहले तो there should be a clarity, कितना क्या करोगे तो क्या मिलेगा, इतना करोगे तो इतना मिलेगा. There should not be ambiguity, there should be a transparency, and controllability factor will be taken into consideration. मतलब जो चीज वर्कर के कंट्रोल के बाहर है, उस चीज के लिए आप वर्कर को जिम्मेदार नहीं ठहरा सकते. वर्कर्स विल बी हेल्ड रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर कंट्रोलेबल फैक्टर, नॉन कंट्रोलेबल फैक्टर्स को नहीं. मतलब अगर कोविड पीरियड में मेरे पास कस्टमर आया नहीं, इसमें मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता यार, लेकिन जो कस्टमर आया उसका काम मैंने एफिशिएंटली करके दिया तो मुझे रिवॉर्ड मिलना चाहिए. आई होप यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस. इफ यू स्टार्ट holding your workers responsible for non-controllable acts, it is a burden on them. मतलब मेरी क्या गलती है यार, कोविड आया, मैं क्या कर सकता हूं, कस्टमर ही नहीं आया, लेकिन जितने भी आए उसमें से एक भी वापस नहीं गया खाली हाथ, मैंने सबको कोई ना कोई प्रोडक्ट चिपकाया. That means I have done well. कस्टमर हर दिन 100 लोग आते थे, महीने में 3,000 कस्टमर्स का फुटफॉल था। कोविड की वजह से सिर्फ 30 आए, लेकिन 30 के 30 को सामान बेच दिया मैंने। तो इफ यू सी, आप मुझे ये नहीं बोल सकते कि ठीक है तूने एजेंसी ली थी मेरी, 3,000 कस्टमर्स का फुटफॉल था, 30 ही हो गया। अभी वो मेरी वजह से नहीं है, वो तो कोविड की वजह से। लेकिन जो 30 आए ना, उनको तो पूरा सामान चिपका दिया मैंने। मतलब इफ यू वांट टू टॉक अबाउट माय एफिशिएंसी एंड इफ यू वांट टू टॉक अबाउट माय रिवॉर्ड्स, टॉक अबाउट 30 बिकॉज दैट वाज विद इन माय रीच। बाकी जो नहीं आया वो मेरे हाथ में नहीं था। इन दैट केस आपको you have to be very clear with the dimensions, guys. You should be very clear with the dimension if you are a management person. What is to be achieved, what quality you want to give, flexibility in terms of customer services, what new you can do. Manual accounting चल रहा है तो टैली पे शिफ्ट हो जाओ, टैली कर रहे हो तो टैली का अपडेटेड वर्जन यूज करो। बेसिकली डू समथिंग इनोवेटिव and see to it your resources are utilized absolutely in a fantastic manner. There should not be a wastage. क्योंकि अगर ये हुआ तो मैं दो तरीके से रिजल्ट एनालाइज कर सकता हूं, एक तो फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस के हिसाब से और दूसरा कंपैरेटिव परफॉर्मेंस के हिसाब से। कंपैरेटिव परफॉर्मेंस मतलब मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, मेरा कंप्यूटर क्या कर रहा है, वेयर डू वी स्टैंड टुडे। तो ये हुआ बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक मॉडल का फंडा, वही हम लोग यहाँ पे यूज कर सकते हैं। सी, financial performance of ABC can be measured through computing gross profit, margin per partner, revenue change, growth in revenue, success rate in converting inquiries into revenue, retention rate of clients, relative market share. Statutory compliances segment will be having characteristics of recurring work and strict adherence to written filing timelines. Hence, it is essential to ensure optimum and effective resource utilization. मुझे अगर रिटर्न टाइम पे फाइल करना है तो मेरे पास sufficient number of staff होना चाहिए जो मेरे लिए वो काम करे। If I am running short of staffs, how will I do that? In order to measure the productivity of the staff, hours charged as a percentage of total available hours or total hours paid can be computed. भाई एक दिन बैठता है 5 रिटर्न फाइल करता है, ठीक है, मतलब इन a total time of 10 hours you are filing 5 returns, so basically you are taking 2 hours per return. Try to improve that, give motivation based on that. Instead of filing 5 returns in a day, start filing 6. For every extra return above 5 you will be paid reward. That also creates a motivation. Consulting services segment will be having characteristics of analytical skill, interpersonal skills, and ability to close close on prospective clients. Therefore, quality of services is a critical factor for success. Customer rating and proportion of number of errors and defects in the compliances submitted can be key performance indicators. मतलब मिस्टेक्स कितने हुए या कस्टमर रेटिंग क्या है, that can also be taken for performance evaluation. So basically flexibility is important from the perspective of delivery of service and the manner and timing of delivery, how it is being delivered, within what stipulated time it is delivered. Some performance measures that might be used for these dimensions are number of returns submitted on time to total returns, actual number of visits to number of visits planned for specific assignment. आपको बोला है फलाने फलाने ऑडिट पे 50 बार जाना है, आपने 30 बार जाके ऑडिट खत्म कर दिया, तो दैट इज ऑल्सो कंसिडर्ड एज योर परफॉर्मेंस. Number of technical areas are accounting, auditing, taxation handled by each team member. Although the scope of innovation is not much available in accounting firms, but still use of IT tools can improve the utility of the client. Moreover, innovation can be seen as offering new range and category of services. Number of new services offered within the previous year and or 3 years can be performance measure of innovation. What kind of a services we were offering, what kind of a technology we were offering. You may conduct a free session for your clients to give them information at random about the taxation policies, about the tax saving measures. You can conduct a Zoom session for all 50, suppose for 50 clients, and you can tell them, okay, you can do this. If you have industry-wise client specification, client classification, you can, okay, today only salaried people will come, and you can tell them you can invest in this, you can invest in that, you can, that this is how you can save your tax, and so on. So basically do something innovative so that people will, the footfall will increase, which will increase the revenue in the long run. तो इतना सही था, क्वेश्चन ही इतना छोटा था, बट ये आपको किसी भी हालत में मेंशन करना है। तो आपको ये सारे फैक्टर्स याद रखने हैं। देखो मैं बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक मॉडल पे मैं कहाँ से गया, यहाँ से रिजल्ट्स एंड डिटर्मिनेंट्स, ये हिंट दिया मुझे कि बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक मॉडल कैन बी यूज्ड। इसका मतलब समझे ना, यू शुड नो द कंसेप्ट फर्स्ट, देन ओनली यू कैन इंप्लीमेंट द कंसेप्ट इन अ केस सिनेरियो। आइए चलते हैं इसी टॉपिक के लास्ट केस सिनेरियो पे, व्हिच इज केस सिनेरियो नंबर 12। Digital Computers is a manufacturer and wholesale dealer of electronic goods. In the initial years, the company was performing excellent and was improving year after year. However, from past 3 years, the performance of the company is towards a decreasing trend. In a report, the sales manager stated that sales had been disappointing and the company's sale has gone down drastically. However, sales manager pointed out that on some orders, had been lost because of production department had been unable or unwilling to adapt the product specification of the requirement of the customer. Also, one of the company's larger customers had returned goods which it claimed did not meet the customer's requirement. That means customer satisfaction is a concern here. Customer satisfaction is a concern here. Please understand, I have been telling you this since long. कब से यही कह रहा हूँ, प्रॉब्लम्स ढूंढो, सोल्यूशन अपने आप मिल जाएगा। In addition, delay in completion of another large order meant that some revenue originally budgeted for this year would not be earned until next year. Employees and managers are not motivated to perform at their best, nor are the cycle time and waste at production department monitored. Sales budgeted था, वो इतना हुआ, which is little more than your last year's sales. Cost काफी हद तक सेव की, but still it is more than last year's cost. That's fine. Gross profit last year जितना ही कमाया है, I couldn't meet the budget. I couldn't reach the budgeted gross profit. Other cost में काफी I can see the considerable saving in terms of other cost as compared to budget. Profit budget से कम है, but last year से ज़्यादा है. The CEO believed that company's performance measure needed to link operations to strategic goals more closely. They needed to focus on non-financial as well as financial measures. मतलब इसमें तो पूरा टॉपिक आ गया रे, पूरे परफॉर्मेंस मेजरमेंट एंड इवैल्यूएशन टॉपिक में यू हैव स्टडीड ओनली दैट, नो, financial and non-financial measures. The CEO has suggested that digital computers should use a structure for setting targets based on the concept of the performance pyramid and should not focus on the financial performance. List how system of performance measurement within digital computers could be improved and assess how the implementation of performance pyramid might help digital computers achieve its stated objective of sales and profit growth. Problem क्या है? Problem is customer satisfaction. You are not capable of fulfilling requirement of the customer. You are not in a condition to satisfy pull strategy. कस्टमर जो मांगता है वो नहीं दे पा रहे. आपका सबसे बड़ा क्लाइंट अगर आपका माल रिटर्न करता है, that shows how lethargic you are. क्योंकि आपके सबसे बड़े क्लाइंट को खुश रखने का काम तो कम से कम कर सकते हो, वो भी नहीं कर रहे हो. ये रीजन है. Your employees and managers are not motivated only to perform better. तो क्या करें? What is the solution? एकदम सिंपल तरीका है. क्वेश्चन पढ़ने के बाद इतना समझ में आ गया है that we are focusing only on financial performance. We are not taking into consideration non-financial performance. सबसे पहले आपको क्वेश्चन में ये लिखना है कि भाई सिर्फ फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस मत देखो, नॉन फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस भी देखना पड़ेगा आपको. ओके, सो यू स्टार्ट गिविंग देम एग्जांपल. उन्होंने वैसे भी परफॉर्मेंस पिरामिड बोली दिया है. ओके, सो एक काम करते हैं, नॉन फाइनेंशियल को लिखना शुरू कर देंगे. परफॉर्मेंस पिरामिड आप एक्सप्लेन कर दो, दैट इज फाइन. परफॉर्मेंस पिरामिड आप एक्सप्लेन करोगे तो आपको पता चलेगा एक्सटर्नल सेटिस्फैक्शन, इंटरनल सेटिस्फैक्शन बोथ आर इंपॉर्टेंट. आई मीन एक्सटर्नल इंप्रूवमेंट एंड इंटरनल इंप्रूवमेंट बोथ आर इंपॉर्टेंट. आपके कंपनी का सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये है दैट यू आर नॉट सैटिस्फाइंग नीड ऑफ योर कस्टमर. अगर वो आपने सेटिस्फाई करना शुरू कर दिया तो योर वर्क इज डन. तो मेरे ख्याल से आपको एक सिंपल काम करना चाहिए. कस्टमर को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए साइकिल टाइम कम करो, साइकिल टाइम कम करो, वेस्टेज कम करो, तो आपका प्रोडक्ट जल्दी बनेगा. जल्दी बनेगा तो जल्दी डिलीवर होगा. टाइम कम लगेगा तो आप कस्टमर को सेटिस्फाई कर सकते हो, ज्यादा से ज्यादा कस्टमर को सेटिस्फाई कर सकते हो. यू कैन फोकस ऑन क्वालिटी, यू कैन फोकस ऑन डिलीवरी. तो आपके एक्सटर्नल मैटर्स भी हैंडल हो गए. इंटरनली मैंने जैसा कहा साइकिल टाइम और वेस्ट कंट्रोल करो. यू विल बी हैविंग द फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी ऑफ गिविंग द प्रोडक्ट टू द कस्टमर द वे दे वांट एंड व्हेनेवर दे वांट. यार साइकिल टाइम और वेस्टेज कम करने से प्रोडक्टिविटी अगर इंप्रूव होती है, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी इंप्रूव होगी, तो ये तो होना ही है ना. कस्टमर सेटिस्फेक्शन तो मिलेगा ही. कस्टमर सेटिस्फेक्शन मिलने के लिए दो चीजें आपको फॉलो करनी है, क्वालिटी एंड डिलीवरी. ऑटोमेटिकली मार्केट विल बी अंडर योर कंट्रोल. सो सिंपल है मेरे हिसाब से. कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन इज द ओनली की पॉइंट इन दिस क्वेश्चन, जिसके लिए आपको इंटरनल और एक्सटर्नल मेजर्स यूज करने चाहिए. और उसमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कम्युनिकेशन. कम्युनिकेट विथ योर एम्प्लॉइज. दे आर डीमोटिवेटेड. रिवॉर्ड सिस्टम चालू करो, इंसेंटिव सिस्टम चालू करो, मोटिवेट देम टू परफॉर्म बेटर एंड बेटर एंड बेटर इन द इंडस्ट्री. दैट इज द ओनली ऑप्शन वी हैव. देखो उन्होंने क्या क्या लिखा है. Performance reporting system of digital computer appears to have focus exclusively on financial and do not provide information about effectiveness and efficiency which can be affecting the company's performance. ठीक है, तो क्या क्या करना चाहिए? See, focus on customer satisfaction, cycle time reduce करो, customers requirement को assess करो, then trade-offs between different dimensions of performance. In order to increase the performance in non-financial dimension, it has to decrease the performance on financial dimension. हो सकता है ना कि आपको कभी कभार कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन के लिए you may walk an extra mile. भाई ठीक है, मेरे कस्टमर को ये चाहिए तो ठीक है यार, दे दो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Once your customer is satisfied, he will come back to you. जैसे पानी पूरी खाते हो, पानी पूरी खाने का सबसे बड़ा मजा, पानी पूरी, गोलगप्पे, पुचका, जो भी बोलो एक ही चीज है. पानी पूरी खाने का सबसे ज्यादा मजा 6 पूरी के बाद नहीं, वो लास्ट का 1 पूरी खाने में जो मसाला पूरी होता है. आप बोलो भैया एक और मसाला पूरी मिलेगा, एक से मन नहीं भरा, एक और मिलेगा. एक अगर उसने निकाल के दिया तो यू आर सेटिस्फाइड, दोबारा जाओगे उसके पास. लेकिन वो अगर सोचता कि नहीं 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 6+1 6+1 6+1 मैं नहीं दूंगा, एक पूरी से ठीक है, देयर विल बी अ फाइनेंशियल बर्डन. बट यू आर सेटिस्फाइंग द कस्टमर, ही में visit again or he may convey the message to others. I am giving you a very simple example. अगर आप कस्टमाइज्ड प्रोडक्ट की में बिलीव करते हो, किसी रेस्टोरेंट में बैठे हो, आपने कोई स्पेसिफिक ऑर्डर दिया, उसी हिसाब से उसने बना के दिया, आप खुश, आप रिकमेंड करोगे वो रेस्टोरेंट बाकी और कुछ लोगों को, तो सेल्स तो बढ़ेगा. रेफरल सिस्टम के रेफरल की वजह से, रेफरेंसेस देने की वजह से सेल्स तो बढ़ता जाएगा. तो थोड़ा सा फाइनेंशियल मैटर्स सैक्रिफाइस करके नॉन फाइनेंशियल मैटर्स पे फोकस करो, क्योंकि बैंड बच चुकी है कंपनी की. एस्टैब्लिशिंग कॉर्पोरेट लेवल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. एक तो सी परफॉर्मेंस पिरामिड में वही तो होता है, कॉर्पोरेट विजन. आपको क्या चाहिए? सक्सेस. सक्सेस इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रॉफिट, प्रॉफिट इन टर्म्स ऑफ कस्टमर्स, कस्टमर इन टर्म्स ऑफ रेवेन्यू. वो तभी मिलेगा जब कस्टमर सेटिस्फाई होगा. स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस यूनिट ऑब्जेक्टिव. स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस यूनिट्स मतलब वो साइकिल टाइम कम कैसे करे, वेस्ट कैसे अवॉइड करे, ये इंटरनल मैटर्स हो गए। क्वालिटी इंप्रूव कैसे करे, डिलीवरी इंप्रूव कैसे करे, ये सारे इंटरनल फैक्टर्स है जो एक्सटर्नल इफेक्टिवनेस और इंटरनल एफिशिएंसी में उन्होंने मर्ज कर दिया। तो एग्जैक्टली इसी फॉर्मेट में सोल्यूशन होना चाहिए जरूरी नहीं, लेकिन सारे पॉइंट्स कवर करना चाहिए, ये याद रखिए। नाउ सेटिंग टारगेट्स, पॉज। अब ये सारी चीजें मैनेज कैसे करोगे? सेट टारगेट्स, टारगेट फॉर क्वालिटी, टारगेट फॉर साइकिल टाइम, target for maximum wastage that you can allow, target for delivery time, and start evaluating performances on the basis of those targets. So targets should be identified for productivity, customer satisfaction, and flexibility. Targets in flexibility may be qualitative in nature, relating to digital computers' ability to adapt product satisfaction to customers' requirement. Target for measuring customers' satisfaction may include targets for reducing the volume of customer returns. पता है तुम लोग को क्लियर कट बोला मैंने, टारगेट इन टर्म्स ऑफ वेस्टेज, इतना रिटर्न आ सकता है मैं समझ सकता हूं, लेकिन इससे ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए, इतने टाइम में प्रोडक्ट बनना चाहिए, इससे ज्यादा नहीं लगना चाहिए। दिस शुड बी द क्वालिटी नॉर्म्स। कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन मुझे पता चलेगा क्वालिटी नॉर्म्स क्या है, क्वालिटी नॉर्म्स वेदर दे आर फॉलोड, वेदर दे आर नॉट फॉलोड। टारगेट फॉर साइकिल टाइम एंड डिलीवरी टाइम में हेल्प, सी बेसिकली उन्होंने वही एक्सप्लेन किया। एक चीज हमेशा याद रखना, सारे पॉइंट्स कवर होने चाहिए, फॉर्मेट कोई भी हो, आपको यही चीजें लिखनी है, हो गया आपका काम। दिस इज व्हाट यू आर सपोज्ड टू राइट, दिस इज हाउ यू आर सपोज्ड टू राइट। बात समझ में आई? देखो रिवीजन सेशन होने की वजह से मुझे कम टाइम में सब कुछ कवर करना पड़ रहा है, और आपका एग्जाम मई में है, तो आपका एग्जाम अभी तुरंत आने वाला है, तो मुझे ऐसा रिवीजन सेशन देना था जो कम टाइम में खत्म हो लेकिन प्रोडक्टिव हो। मैं सारे पॉइंट्स जहां तक हो सके टच कर चुका हूं। डिटेल में डिस्कशन हम लोग नहीं कर पाए, जितना मैं लेक्चर में लेता हूं उतना डिस्कशन नहीं कर पाए बिकॉज ऑफ द टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट, बट आपको इतना तो पता चला होगा कि हाउ टू रीड, हाउ टू एक्सट्रैक्ट द डेटा एंड हाउ टू कन्वर्ट दैट इनटू अ सॉल्यूशन। लेकिन इन सारी चीजों के लिए सबसे पहले आपका उन पांचों थियरी टॉपिक्स पे कमांड होना चाहिए, बस इतना याद रखिए आप। चाहे वो केस स्टडी हो, चाहे वो केस सिनारियो हो, हमको वैसे भी कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। अपना स्ट्रैटेजी से पिक अप द डेटा, थिंक क्या गलत है क्या सही है, गलत को सही कैसे कर सकते हो, जो पढ़ा है उसको क्या इंप्लीमेंट कर सकते हो, और पॉइंट आप अपने हिसाब से भी लिखोगे तो भी कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, बट you have to use the language which is given in the module, you have to use the terms which are given in the module, जैसे ये एक्सटर्नल इंप्रूवमेंट, इंटरनल इंप्रूवमेंट, साइकिल टाइम, वेस्टेज, यही वर्ड यूज करोगे तो पता चलेगा दैट यू हैव गॉन थ्रू द स्टडी मटेरियल प्रॉपर्ली। सो दोस्तों ये था आपका केस सिनारियो नंबर 12। नेक्स्ट केस सिनारियो इज नंबर 3। शक्ति ऑटोमोबाइल्स लिमिटेड SAL is a leading battery based e-rickshaw manufacturing firm under the brand name Shah Sawari in 3 models: Super, Star, Speed. SAL started this business around 5 years back when it was the only manufacturer of such e-rickshaw. SAL manufactures all assembly components themselves, so make or buy में से they have selected make. Irrespective of the fact that these components can be acquired from the market at a cheaper rate. Major components of total cost in manufacturing of such e-rickshaw is variable in nature. Company was performing well, earning a reasonable and enjoyed large market share till 2 years ago, majorly due to first mover advantage. But due to increasing competition as a new entrants coming into market, rough macroeconomic conditions, market share starts shrinking. Resultantly, profits are declining. If so, no major steps taken, then company may run into red in a year to come. That means the company will start getting a loss. Mr. Pillai CEO attended some workshop last week where he learned about the lean management and techniques of cost management. He asked Mr. Reddy, Chief Management Accountant, to report on underlying reasons behind current performance with available set of possible solutions. Mr. Reddy immediately convened a meeting of top ranked officers, which is chaired by CEO at meeting. Mr. Swami, VP Marketing, mentioned that it's difficult to maintain some same level of sales in the upcoming years because of price is much higher than the price offered by the competitors. Quality and features are also similar. That means price sensitive. Mr. Datta, customer relation manager, also supported Mr. Swami, said that the popularity of their product is declining. He quoted that he receives a lot of complaints from buyers in emails. Telecalls due to manufacturing defects which arise in the product within a month period of purchase, and frequency of such calls and emails have increased. So the manufacturing defects are coming up within the first month of purchase. This is really a concern. He also mentioned that in some cases, customer reported that assembled part did not belong to the model they purchased, and some customers say assembly is not as per the specification provided. Mr. Sodi, head workshop and repairs, agrees that repair issues in case of recently sold vehicles have been increased. Mr. Murthy, VP Production and Operations, who recently joined SAL, replied, firstly, large percentage of workers are unskilled. Secondly, due to large amount and categories of raw material dumped by store at production floor, that's too well prior to need. That means inventory is a problem. These two reasons cause workers fail to differentiate among the parts which appear similar. He also mentioned entire business process, especially production process, is quite old and contains certain activities which are purely unnecessarily. He also highlights importance of Industry 4.0 and gives stress on business re-engineering through artificial intelligence, machine and learning, etc. Mr. Naidu, VP Purchases, immediately responded about economics of discount involved behind purchase of large quantity, and also mentioned buying too less may lead to stock out situation. So everyone has their own reason. You were also present in that meeting as a deputy to Mr. Reddy. Post meeting, you came back to your desk and start working. Mr. Reddy called you in his cabin. On reach to his cabin, he asked you to prepare a draft of report seek by CEO and meet him with a copy of draft after half an hour from now. So basically, we need to suggest what are the problems. The biggest problem is quality. The quality problem is not with the product that you are manufacturing, it is mainly because of the parts that you are using. That means you can actually think of changing those parts, changing the supplier. We used to make those parts earlier, correct? We started getting those parts at cheaper rate. So that make or buy decision, when we took, we must have taken the decision of buying those parts. Quality is a concern. Quality of labor is a concern. Quality of spare parts is a concern. Inventory, high inventory carrying cost is a concern. So you can apply target costing. As it is a price sensitive, you cannot change the price. So fix up the price, fix up your profit margin, find out the cost and try to reduce the cost and try to maintain the cost at that level. So target costing system is to be applied. Second reason is all assembly components themselves are, those components, material. Assembly components means material. They are purchased at a cheaper rate. Relevant cost of both make or buy needs to be compared. As mentioned that major components of total cost is variable in nature. Such major component cost can be controlled by SAL by buy all the components instead of making them. Okay. Only those products need to be made in-house whose variable cost of manufacturing is less than the market price and vice versa. That is fine. That is what we were doing. See, we are currently making it, but whatever our production team or that workshop sends us is not up to the mark. So instead of running such department, instead of spending on such department, we may close the department and we can take a decision of buying those parts from the market. Due to large amount and categories of raw material dumped by store. See, आप हम लोग कुछ मटेरियल बना रहे हैं, कुछ स्पेयर पार्ट्स बना रहे हैं, कुछ मटेरियल खरीद रहे हैं. ऐसा नहीं कि अभी तूने बोला प्रोडक्शन कर रहा है तो अभी खरीदने की क्या बात कर. लिसन टू मी. कुछ पार्ट्स स्पेयर पार्ट्स हम लोग बना रहे हैं, कुछ माल हम लोग मार्केट से खरीद रहे हैं. जो बना रहे हैं वो भी खरीदने का अगर ऑप्शन आपके पास है, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली इट इज बेस्ड ऑन वेरिएबल कॉस्ट स्ट्रक्चर ओनली, सो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट स्ट्रक्चर कैन बी कंट्रोल्ड. तो जो बना रहे हो वो भी खरीदना चालू करो, और जो खरीद रहे हो उसकी क्वांटिटी पे कंट्रोल आना जरूरी है, बिकॉज दे आर डम्प्ड इन योर वेयर हाउस. इसका मतलब हद से ज्यादा इन्वेंट्री आप जमा कर रहे हो. सो third and the major reason is popularity of their product is declining. So in that case, popularity of the product is always an outcome of quality. So if you cannot give quality, you will not win the customer. Customer satisfaction is important, so you can apply total quality management as a technique, as a process to safeguard your quality structure. You can also use Six Sigma for transformation in terms of maintaining the quality. Since you are already in existence, Damai and Damdao are two things, but since you are already in existence, if you recollect that discussion we had on Six Sigma, if you are in existence, then Damai can be applied. Define, measure, analyze, improve and control. Damdao is used only if it's a new one, new product which is brought into existence. Then use Kaizen costing for workers, which will ensure the continuous movement and continuous improvement and continuous evaluation in the process, because your workers need to be controlled as well. Provide them training, upgrade them, give them facilities and make them capable of giving you the quality product. JIT, whenever there is a excessive inventory, we always think of JIT. Full system production, that means whenever I need material, it will be transferred to me. Then all established businesses processes we are implementing, so we need a transformation. So we need to go for a radical change. Need to go for a radical change in terms of business process reengineering. So basically, this case study involves everything. It involves everything whereby you can avoid those wastages and maintain the quality. So it is a general question which you are supposed to answer. So basically, you are supposed to write thoda information about everything, and you will be given the marks in the form of a report. Scenario number 6. Star Tiles Production Limited is a large manufacturer of floor tiles and interlocking tiles. STPL enjoyed reasonable market share and brand reputation till a couple of years ago. Since then, STPL is facing problem of decline in productivity. STPL deals in variety of tiles with the different brand names, and some of their brands are in development stage and some are at maturity level. Majority of customers are from middle class and who are price sensitive. Hence, cost of production is a critical aspect for the company, and resultantly productivity to become a critical factor. Workers at STPL are allocated with specific roles and responsibilities. Workers are supposed to work strictly according to the specific set of guidelines provided by superior. Workers used to complain about job role allocation because allocations are not as per the skill set of workers. In some case, tasks become monotonous as learning curve is exhausted. Management and operational decision are centralized in nature. Participation of workers is limited up to date in report only. Remuneration of vestibule is based on hourly rate. Hourly rate is fixed based on number of years of working in the company, irrespective of importance of task allocated to such workers. So basically, they are paid under time rate. No efficiency, no productivity is taken into consideration. Seniority is taken into consideration, and that is probably the reason why people are hardly concerned about the quality. Some of the skilled workers are getting less pay in comparison to other staff. STPL recently retrenched some senior workers who possess reasonable operation skills but not good in technology part, which is essential to operate machines recently installed. मशीन ऑपरेट नहीं कर सकते थे, थोड़े से अच्छे वर्कर्स थे, स्किल्ड वर्कर्स थे, बेटर काम करते थे, लेकिन वर्कर मैनेज ही नहीं, मशीन ही चला नहीं पाएंगे तो रख के क्या फायदा, ये सोच के निकल दिया. ट्रेनिंग दे सकते थे, याद रखना इस पार्ट को. बेसिकली किसी भी केस स्टडी में आपको गलतियां कहाँ कहाँ हुई है वो देखना है, तो गलतियों को इंप्रूव करने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए वो आपको आंसर करना है. वो उन 5 टॉपिक में से होगा जो आपके थियरी के 5 टॉपिक्स है. Since there are varieties of tiles available in the stock, that too with different design, hence in past there are handful instances where material delivered to customer was different from what being ordered. Due to large volume of inventory at stores, some category of tiles is further manufactured, even lying available in stores, and stock of some remains always short. So there is inventory is also a problem for you. You are a newly appointed management accounting department of the company, and management accountant asks you to draft a report to CEO containing the brief explanation to productivity, stating in context of what should be measured, and then productivity enhancement techniques. So basically we are heading towards productivity concept here. So what is productivity? What have you observed? See, it's about efficient and effective use of all resources. Time, people, knowledge, information, finance, equipment, space, energy, material. As far as productivity is concerned, you need to go for value analysis, value engineering. It will improve the quality of the product, and if the quality of the product improves, life cycle improves. मतलब यार आपके प्रोडक्ट का क्वालिटी बढ़ गया तो कस्टमर खरीदता जाएगा, तो इंट्रोडक्शन, ग्रोथ, मैच्योरिटी के बाद डिक्लाइन आने में टाइम लगेगा. सो क्वालिटी needs to be improved. At development stage, you can reduce the cost without reducing the quality. At maturity stage, you can reduce the cost by replacing costly components with a cheaper one. क्वालिटी थोड़ा कम होता है तो भी ठीक है, बट अभी क्या है, वैसे भी मैच्योरिटी स्टेज है, डिक्लाइन तो आने ही वाला है, तो थोड़ा सा 19-20 हो जाए क्वालिटी पे तो ठीक है. Quality circles. It is group of employees. They meet regularly, analyze and solve problems in their department, and advise management to implement new methods to solve work-related problems. Since STPL facing criticism from worker class, method of working is selected by superior. Hence, the quality circle can be the solution. Worker को problem था ना, बराबर काम नहीं allocate कर रहे, monotonous काम जा रहा है. They can discuss that among themselves in the quality circle, and matter can be reported to the higher authority. Financial, non-financial aspects in terms of wages and salaries and bonus which are being given. You are not actually supporting or promoting productivity. You are simply making your workers lethargic by giving them timely rate. टाइमली रेट देते रहोगे तो प्रोडक्टिविटी का कोई मतलब ही नहीं रहेगा. ठीक है यार, कितना भी आवर्स काम करो, कितने भी यूनिट्स बनाओ, मेरे को तो आर्ली पैसा मिलने वाला है, आई एम हैप्पी. लेथार्जिक एटीट्यूड होगा तो क्वालिटी तो सैक्रिफाइस होगी ही कभी ना कभी तो. लेकिन जब आपका रेम्यूनरेशन पीस रेट पे होगा या परफॉर्मेंस बेस्ड होगा तो आपको पता चलेगा कि आप जितना अच्छा काम करोगे उतना आपका पैसा, आपको ज्यादा पैसा मिल सकता है. नॉन फाइनेंशियल मैटर्स जैसे वर्किंग कंडीशन, वेलफेयर, फैसिलिटीज should also be taken into consideration. Employees' productivity and skill. in redrafting the incentives, मैंने बोला ना, redrafting your labor rate system. Operational research, basically you implement methods, different methods in order to reduce the delay in the decision making or to increase the accuracy in terms of decision making. Training we discussed, most of the workers are unskilled because skilled workers are retrenched. Job enlargement, job enrichment, basically provide training facilities to them. Instead of retrenching senior workers, make a use of their skill by giving them training to operate the machine. भाई मैं तुमको मशीन ऑपरेट करना सिखाता हूं, लेकिन मेरे लिए काम करो बिकॉज आपका स्किल मेरे लिए जरूरी है. जॉब इवैल्यूएशन एंड इन्वेंट्री कंट्रोल. इन्वेंट्री कंट्रोल तो आपको पता चल ही गया होगा क्या है. And finally, quality control. Quality control is basically deviation and correction. So you can go for protective steps like inspection, or you can go for restorative steps like doing repair work or review work free of cost and all. I think protective is much preferred. And then human resource factor. Understanding of technology and human requirement to task and worker both. Fitment. See, मतलब basically हम लोग ने जो ऊपर डिस्कस किया वही उन्होंने अलग पॉइंट बना के नीचे दे दिया. You can club this point with job enlargement and enrichment. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Ultimately it is about workers only. तो exactly ऐसे points होने चाहिए जरूरी नहीं है, but आपका आंसर reasonably similar होना चाहिए questions, जो suggested answers. पॉइंट्स आपने सारे कवर कर दिए ना, तो दैट इज इनफ. फिर आप 5 पॉइंट में 10 पॉइंट लिखते हो या 10-10 करके अलग अलग 10 पॉइंट लिखते हो, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ऑल योर पॉइंट शुड बी कवर्ड. तो वो तभी समझेगा ना जब क्वेश्चन पहली बार पढ़ते हो, तो पता चलता है गलती कहाँ हुई है, जहाँ पे गलती हुई है वो सुधारो, खत्म हो गई बात. इज दैट क्लियर? चलिए दोस्तों, चलते हैं अगले केस स्टडी की तरफ, केस सिनारियो की तरफ. ABC is a public listed company with majority of its shareholders being institutional investors like mutual funds, banks, and business and insurance companies. It is located in a water scarce zone in Tamil Nadu. There are restrictions on the tapping and usage of groundwater under the relevant laws. Penal provisions of the law will apply in case of violations. हम लोग केमिकल मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहे हैं, कॉम्पिटिटिव एनवायरनमेंट है, लिस्टेड पब्लिक कंपनी है, एंड हम लोग ऐसे एरिया में काम कर रहे हैं जहाँ पे रेस्ट्रिक्शन. द प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस रिक्वायर्स वाटर एंड अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर what the company should draw is limited to 19,000 kiloliter. 19,000 kiloliters. Purchase of water is not an option, so availability is highly erratic. As the availability is highly erratic and exorbitant on cost, so आप पानी खरीद नहीं सकते, एक्सट्रैक्ट कर सकते हो, ठीक है, और आप 19,000 kiloliters के ज़्यादा एक्सट्रैक्ट भी नहीं कर पाओगे. The company manufactures two types of chemicals, A and B, and these are sold in kilograms. The company is in the process of making the business plan for 2021. Based on the actual operation data of 2020, taking into consideration the inflation and the possible price increases that it can obtain from the market, the following product costing details have been arrived at. Capacity volume, A and B. Selling price, variable cost, so contribution is available 500, 350. Water per kg is also available. Okay. Under relevant income tax laws prevalent, companies with a turnover of 250 crores or less are taxed at a lower rate of 25% as against the normal 30%. The company intends to keep its sales equal to 250 crores or slightly lesser to avail this concessional income tax benefit. With capacity constraints, the company has calculated that it would be still beneficial for the company to stick to 250 crores as only marginal increase in turnover is possible over 250 crores. After a higher tax of 30%, profit after tax would be still lower than profit after tax arrived by doing just 250 crores, availing the lower income tax rate. मतलब अगर 250 करोड़ से मार्जिनली ऊपर जाता है तो 30% टैक्स लगेगा, लेकिन अगर 250 से कम रहता है तो 25% टैक्स लगेगा। उन्होंने कहा है the company has calculated that it would still beneficial for the company to stick to 250 crores as only marginal increase in turnover is possible. थोड़े से के लिए आप 250 crores क्रॉस कर दोगे और 30% का बोझा पड़ेगा, and the PAT would still be lower than PAT arrived at 25%. Naturally ना, but see, मुझे टैक्स भरने में प्रॉब्लम नहीं कि 250 करोड़ का 500 करोड़ होता है तो कंसिडरेबल हाइक मिल रहा है, मैं एक्स्ट्रा टैक्स भी भर सकता हूँ गवर्नमेंट को, लेकिन 250 करोड़ का 252 करोड़ हुआ, उस 2 करोड़ के एक्स्ट्रा अमाउंट के चक्कर में मुझे पूरा का पूरा 30% टैक्स देना पड़ेगा, 5% से टैक्स पड़ेगा अननेसेसरी। CFO asked management consultant to work out the volumes of A&B which would give optimal maximum contribution given in the constraints on capacity, water usage and turnover to avail the concessional income tax benefit. Consultant work out with the following product mix using linear programming. She also proposes another mix which does not meet the constraint on water usage by drawing excess water permitted by 113 kiloliters but would result into increase of 30 lakhs in contribution. She says that it is easily possible to do this by managing reporting to water authority. So this is not something which is legal. So optimal is 8 lakhs and 9 lakhs, suggested is 785 and 9 lakh 30. Contribution will be this much contribution. We applied on contribution of 500 and 350. Now constraints. Sales should be less than 250 crores. Volume should be volume of A, volume of B, both have constraints. Water usage has a constraint required. CFO is not satisfied with the calculation. He wants you, senior finance manager, to come up with a proper discussion. अब एक बात ध्यान से सुनो, आपको जो भी सजेशन मिला है वो एक सबसे बड़े गलत डिसीजन पे डिपेंडेंट है। चोरी, use more water but don't report it to the authority. If you consider business ethics, देखो प्रैक्टिकली आप लाइफ में क्या करते हो उससे अपने को कोई लेना देना नहीं है, एग्जाम पास होने के लिए वी हैव टू टॉक एथिकली, करेक्ट? सो मेरा एक सिंपल कैलकुलेशन है, अगर बिजनेस एथिक्स होल्ड करके मैं प्रॉफिट कमाऊं और अगर कोई एनवायरमेंटलिस्ट वगैरह खड़ा हो गया, आरटीआई डाल दिया, एंड इफ द मैटर कम्स आउट, पेनल्टी लगेगी, ब्रांड की धज्जियां उड़ जाएंगी, देयर विल बी स्कार ऑन माय इमेज। एंड सेकेंडली, एक चीज कभी मत भूलना ये बात कि आपके जितने भी शेयर होल्डर्स है ना, ये सब इन्वेस्टर्स है, मतलब म्यूचुअल फंड, बैंक्स एंड इंश्योरेंस कंपनी, दे आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन डूइंग द बिजनेस, दे आर इंटरेस्टेड इन प्रॉफिट। अगर आपके कंपनी के नाम की धज्जियां उड़ गई, अगर आपके ब्रांड पे अगर स्कार लग गया फॉर डूइंग अनएथिकल प्रैक्टिसेस, दे विल विड्रॉ देयर मनी फ्रॉम द कंपनी। क्या करोगे उसके बाद? सो आइडियली बाकी सब चीजें छोड़ दो, सिर्फ एक ग्राउंड्स पे ये सिनारियो एक्सेप्टेड नहीं, सी, सिर्फ एक ग्राउंड पे सिनारियो एक्सेप्टेड है, बाकी सब स्टोरी अच्छा सुना है, पिक्चर अच्छा दिखा है। सबसे पहली बात है, मेरा इन्वेस्टमेंट खत्म हो जाएगा, people will not look at my company from the investment perspective. So maybe ABC would be able to earn profit due to this plan in the short run, but it will tarnish the image of ABC, which would hurt profitability in the long run. Therefore, before taking any decision, ABC should analyze both qualitative and quantitative factors. Qualitative and quantitative factors. That's it. इतना ही है इसमें, और कुछ है ही नहीं। So these are all general case study. ये 5 मार्क के लिए, 6 मार्क के लिए, 3 मार्क के लिए, 2 मार्क के लिए पूछ सकते हैं, साइज देख के हड़बड़ाने का नहीं। When you read the case study, case scenario, आप एक एक चीज मार्क करके जाओ, आपको जो लगता है गलत हो रहा है वो मार्क कर लो, साइड में लिख लो, नोट कर लो, अगर क्वेश्चन पेपर पे लिखना अलाउड नहीं है तो फिर आंसर शीट के लास्ट पेज पे रफ पेज लिख के उधर सब पॉइंट जॉट डाउन कर लो क्वेश्चन नंबर डाल, वरना भूल जाओगे कौन से क्वेश्चन का किधर लिखा। क्वेश्चन नंबर डाल के सब पॉइंट्स अक्यूमुलेट कर लो, फिर एक एक पॉइंट लेके आपको उसको सुधारने की बातें करनी है। बस दिस इज केस स्टडी, नथिंग इज डिफिकल्ट, समझे? सो दिस वाज अगेन अ जनरल केस स्टडी काइंड ऑफ अ कंसेप्ट, मैनेजर केस सिनेरियो रादर आई वुड से, बट अल्टीमेटली है तो सेम ही, आंसरिंग both is same. Okay, thank you so much.